Hello everyone, SirMonkeySuit Zappy here, back again with Hunter x Hunter. We're on episode 46, and in the last episode, Uvo is no longer captured. He's gotten out with the help of the other Phantom Troop members. We saw a little bit of a few more abilities regarding the Phantom Troop and whatnot. All of the Shadow Beasts are dead, or presumably, if it's only like a sort of like unspoken that there were 10 Shadow Beasts and really only the 10 Dons know there's actually more. I don't know if that's the case. It seems pretty, I don't know, I think it would seem pretty shitty if that was the case, so I'm just going to say that there were 10 and they've all been decimated. Kurapika's met up with Hisoka again, and Hisoka's looking for a team up with them two, which I mean, I'm not going to say no to that partnership. I mean, it's a pretty badass pairing, if I do say so myself. So yeah, that should be good. We'll see what happens with that. We've also got Uvo, who did obviously he's not no longer captured, but he's also a bit pissed off with Kurapika, let's say. So yeah, I mean, that's not good, and he's not coming back until he's sorted that. So yeah, this could get dangerous real quick, because I mean, I love Kurapika, and he is he is strong. I don't know if he's at like Uvo ability yet. Like it doesn't seem that way. I mean, the only reason why he got him in chains was, again, it was like the Shadow Beast thing, like catching them by surprise, and because he had this condition of chaining them up, it allowed it to be a bit stronger. And also the fact that Uvo was he was poisoned at that point, so he was not as strong as he as he could have been, so he wasn't even at 100% then. So yeah, scary things are ahead, and I don't know, maybe Hisoka will help him out. Maybe if they team up, then Hisoka and Kurapika against Uvo, I'd back those two. So maybe so, but that would also have to mean that Uvo wouldn't be able to get out alive, because then it would all be, as long as Hisoka's obviously helping. But then the traitor would be known at that point. So yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. But I don't think there's anything else to really talk about, so we're just going to get in episode 46 and see what we get. So without further ado, let's go. Holy fuck. Oh my god. Kurapika, man, he's so he's so sure of himself. But literally, what I've just witnessed Uvo do to God knows how many people he took out. He's probably taken out over 100 in the past few episodes, including Shadow Beasts, with with seemingly minimal effort, not even struggling. You know what I mean? He got caught by surprise by some of the Shadow Beasts, but then after that it was he never once was looked hurt, really, did he? I don't know how Kurapika could possibly be on Uvo's level. So there has to be I mean, could he what's the loophole of the condition of the chains? Could he chain him up and then kill him? He managed to punch him square in the face, and actually, there was some actual damage that you could see there that even a sword couldn't get through. So and well, with Dalzaline's sword, I don't even know if he applied any nen to it to actually counteract the fucking, you know what I mean. But so I know that in some regard Kurapika has that ability to be very strong. It's just that I don't think he's in terms of fights, he's been tested against anybody with any real merit. You know what I mean? The only time we really saw him when he punched that one blue guy back in the Hunter exam, right? When he got really pissed off, but that blue guy was basically nothing. And who else? I mean, we saw him sort of fight against those black balloons or whatever they were, right? But again, to what degree are they even, that was more, that fight, he came out on the winning side because, of Kurapika's sort of perceptive nature. You know what I mean? He sees what's going on, and he analyzes the fucking like the battlefield. So he got out of his way in that regard. And yeah, so yeah, he does have like some, you know, combat ability. But Uvo though, in a 1-on-1, I just don't know. I just don't know. I mean, he has to have something up his sleeve. Like Kurapika like, has to have something that he thinks he can. Like this is how he takes him down. There has to be something, man. Because he wasn't like, you know, he wasn't raging. It wasn't like completely out of emotion that he wanted to fight him. Like he was calm and collected. So, you know, and when Kurapika's calm and collected, I feel like he has something. You know what I mean? There's something there. It's not just pure rage. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. So yeah, we've got the name of the chief of the Phantom Troop, Crollo. I don't think we've ever gotten that before, and if we have, then I just missed it. But Crollo. So, okay. Nothing I can really get from that. I mean, it's just a normal name, isn't it? So yeah, the partnership that Hisoka also wanted with Kurapika is not a case of like a fighting side by side, which is something the pre-discussion, or was the post-discussion at the end of the last episode. Anyway, basically saying that if it did come to Kurapika fighting Uvo, that Hisoka might help, but that, you know, he's basically said that's not the case, and it's just exchanging information. So yeah, and it seems that the Kurapika actually agreed with it. So, you know what I mean. He said he was come back here tomorrow. So, you know, for more information, I'm guessing. I don't know, but yeah. So they got back. They've essentially kind of. I mean, I don't think they really have confirmed that Dalzaline's dead, but I mean, we know he's dead. But at this point, Kurapika's taken over leadership. Neon is just completely like spoiled, like completely like a lack of sympathy or empathy for really anybody. I don't know if, like, I'm not even sure if her father died. Like, would she really care that much? I really don't know. Because it seems like she's so like materialistic about like like that's what she cares about most. Is objects and fucking, I don't know, body parts and whatever the fuck. She's just nutty. But yeah, it's just crazy. I thought there may have been something with Dalzaline, but like, you know, like where she would like actually had some, you know, some shock. It wasn't really though. I mean, she didn't really. It was just like meh. Oh well, you know what I mean? Like, she didn't really care. So yeah, then we had Shalnark, who was using the Hunter's website to determine that it was the Nostrade family. That is all like, you know, that is available for the public. Well, you know, if you're a hunter, I imagine anyway, because they could only access that information on the Hunter's website. But just confirm that Shalnark is a hunter, and Uvo isn't. Not that really Uvo doesn't really need it anyway. Like him, especially at the end there with the narrator basically saying like he want like it give us the like the reason why Uvo was so pissed off was for the fact that, you know, Kurapika, while the guy was chained up, you know, had a smack at him. You know what I mean? And you know, there's something with, you know, the like pride that Uvo has, where he's more of like he's a beastly kind of guy. Like, you know what I mean? Like you can imagine like he likes the idea of the hunt, though he isn't a hunter. You know what I mean? Like he sort of does his own thing. So yeah, it's kind of not too if you think about it in that way, it's not too dissimilar from Gon, especially considering the fact that they're both enhancers and the fact that, you know what I mean, like you know, Gon is he's sort of a wild child, right? He's good in the wild, you know what I mean? And I can imagine like Uvo being like just the exact same way. Like he's just a very beast-like man, isn't he? I said that he kind of reminds me of Ryder from Fate Zero in a way, you know. But yeah, it's like it's not about like, you know what I mean? Like he takes what he wants. He doesn't really adhere to the idea that, oh, I need to be a hunter in order to get all this stuff. I just do it anyway. So yeah, it's a lot like Rider from Fate Zero in that regard. And it's like, you know what I mean, you go out and you take it with your own, you know what I mean, your own sort of brute force in a way. So yeah. So yeah, I put like Uvo isn't a hunter, but he will get there before tomorrow, especially considering the fact that they only had 2 buildings. So I imagine that has to be pattern, like what they consider, they call it a pattern. So it's a pattern A and then pattern B, I'd imagine, because obviously pattern C was, you know, where they held Uvo at. Pattern B was where Neon is, which he's gone there already. Like it seems like that's the first place he went. And obviously with Kurapika and the sort of the group that he had, like you know, Kurapika being as smart as he is, made sure like he picked up on that whole thing fast, like making sure like, oh, is there any other way they could possibly get information on where we are? And he did it immediately, which is good considering the fact that, you know, the last thing you want is to be you know, like ambushed by Uvo without although I guess Uvo isn't really that way inclined anyway. Like I think he is more likely to face to fight someone and not hit them from behind, you know. So but yeah. So yeah, Kurapika was right. Like he wanted to move them rooms in the same building, but it makes sense the fact that, you know, he wanted. That could also be the thing of like, you know, the reason why Kurapika's basically saying like, I'll have you screaming, like trying to maybe agitate him to, so that it's more certain that he does actually go out into the wasteland. And the thing is that could completely have the opposite effect. Like if you aggravate him too much, you might just say, you know what, fuck it, and go and kill him straight off the bat. You know what I mean? Because the amount of power that Uvo has, he could easily bring that whole building down, and you don't want that to happen considering the fact Neon is still in the building, just in a different room. So yeah. And also the fact that like, I thought the way that this was going to go was Uvo was like, you know, like he would have to, I thought he would have come across someone else before Kurapika. I do think Kurapika basically made that impossible considering the fact that, you know, the one that was completely like under the name was the one that that, you know, the one that Kurapika decided to stay in, thinking that Uvo would go there first, and he was right in that regard. So yeah, but I mean, if they're going to fight, they're going to have to get out of that fucking building because it'll not last. It'll just not last. And then we cut back to Gon and Killua and Leorio, which is good because I was about to say, like, I feel like we've been away from them for quite a while now. And yeah, like I could possibly not have timed it like any better. Basically saying like a minute before how it's so separate what Gon, Leorio, and Killua are doing compared to what Kurapika's doing, and then literally a minute in, the arm wrestling sort of official event or whatever that it was, immediately got cancelled. Some guy jumped in and basically had them on a bounty hunt. But obviously involving the Phantom Troop members. Actually, what I wanted to do, because I was going to do it, I did forget. I'm glad I've actually got it now. But I want to say, oh, what? No, I didn't even. Fuck off. Right. Okay. Accidentally clicked on the next episode there, not back. So I just want to see like what faces are actually there. It's got to be the ones that were seen. Come on, where is it? And also that guy there as well, the guy that like came in, the guy that I said like, what is he is he some sort of relative of Ahsoka? Yeah, he just has that sort of like purple look, you know what I mean, like, and just, you know, crazy fucking eyes, like different whatever the fuck they are. I don't even know. They're like tattoos on each eye or whatever. Like he could easily be a shadow beast, and I wouldn't bat an eye, you know. I would think that would that could be possible. Again, though, I keep bringing like this idea that there could be more shadow beasts. It's just because the way he looks is like, is nuts. Okay, so we've got Uvo, Shizuku, Shalnark, Phaeton, Machi, the Nobunaga, and then the weird guy with the fucking really extended earlobes. I think he's the one that has the sort of like machine gun fingers, right? He's got to be in a mid, I'd imagine, that guy. So yeah, them lot. So yeah, it was just the original crew that was out in the open. I've got to imagine that this came from Worm, right? When he turned out to be like semi-alive, and then he got the word out and then just collapsed. I'll imagine that's like where they got the information of who these guys are, and that's it. I don't know how, because I feel like all of the attention was on Uvo while the rest of them were up there. You know what I mean? So I don't know, but yeah, oh well, interesting. And yeah, and that's pretty much all I've got. So interesting. I mean, I don't know who, like, I don't know where they start really, like Gon, Killua, and Leorio to finding these guys. There wasn't like any exchange of contact information between them, like Shizuku and Gon. I mean, I'd have to assume that it would make sense, I guess, story wise, for them to find Shizuku first, because that's the one that they've had the sort of the arm wrestling experience with, so they already know who she is and what the strength of at least what her weaker hand is. You know what I mean? So yeah, I just don't know where they start. Like, how would they go about finding these guys? Because they're kind of off the radar. Like, you see, the Phantom Troop is not something that you'd be able to find on the Hunter's website. Alright? So, I don't know. Not unless they come across Hisoka first. And I don't know. Maybe they could luckily come across Kurapika and his fight with Uvo. You know what I mean? Because I'm sure that'll be making a racket if Uvo's like letting out like his really powerful attacks. The earth will be fucking shaking. But yeah, that's all I've got. I don't have anything else. So yeah, this is getting really, really, like, this is picking up really quick. You know what I mean? Like, I felt like the Hunter exam arc was, it was fun for a lot of the stuff, but it did feel like, it felt like I was like on it forever. And then the what was it, the Heavens Arena arc and stuff, and learning then that sort of I felt like for at least a few episodes there, it felt like Gon and Killua were basically just heading up, and there wasn't any real challenge. It wasn't really until that they like actually started learning Nen and stuff, and they got up to like floor 200, that it actually did sort of pick up, and there was a bit of sort of intrigue behind it. So there was a bit of a slower sort of a bit like sort of involving that. But like now, I just feel like every episode, like, it's like I'm in. So yeah, it's cool. But that's all I've got for this episode. So thank you for watching. In the description below, I've linked to certain things. One of them is the Discord. If you want any information regarding my content at all, you can get yourself over there. You can come talk to me, other community as well. And I do have a Patreon as well. So if you do want to support me on Patreon, that'd be very much appreciated. There's a bunch of different tiers and rewards depending on how much you want to support me with. There's the early access tier. That gives you access to shows a week early, and you get 4 episodes of Hunter x Hunter every week. That's 2 on Monday and 2 on Friday, as opposed to the average YouTube viewer that only gets access to 2 videos of Hunter x Hunter on a Monday. You get 2 extra, and you're well ahead. So yeah, if you actually go, once this video is out on YouTube for the general public, if you actually go to my Patreon and see what episode I'm on in the early access, it'll be way ahead. You know what I mean? So yeah. If you want that is there. There's also the full length tier as well, although that doesn't mean nothing at the moment, because I am short on sort of time of I don't have time to edit right now. So yeah, a lot of these episodes have just been full length regardless. So enjoy that while it lasts, though it will go back to normal eventually. I'll let you guys know when. And there's other tiers there where you can request like certain shows you want me to watch and stuff as well. So yeah, you can go over there with the link in the description and see what there is there on offer. But that's all I've got. So thank you for watching. I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.